God revealed as Yahweh. For this name, as Jehovah's Witnesses insist, is by far the most common name of God in the Old Testament. We have almost 7,000 instances of its use. But what we find when we actually examine its use in the Old Testament will not please Jehovah's Witnesses. This is a quote from Gustav Ehler, his great book, Theology of the Old Testament. Quote, Elohim, as such, remains transcendent to the world of phenomena. Jehovah, on the contrary, enters into the phenomena of space and time in order to manifest himself to mankind. Let me read that again. Jehovah enters into the phenomena of space and time in order to manifest himself to mankind. Theophany, Ehler says, the appearance or manifestation of God in general is predicated of Jehovah, who, and not Elohim, holds intercourse with man in the manner of men. Unquote. So, in other words, God speaks personally as Yahweh. So, Yahweh, Jehovah, as revealed in the Old Testament, is a God who is personally present, who speaks personally, who commits himself in covenant to Israel. The Old Testament is absolutely adamant on this theme. Yahweh has revealed himself to one nation and one nation alone. And Israel to this day acknowledges these truths, if only in a negative way. For since God ceased to communicate with Israel through the prophets, since the Shekinah glory ceased to be present among them, since the nation ceased to enjoy his covenant protection, which name no longer comes to their lips? Which name is no longer uttered in synagogues? If you want to see a look of horror appear even on the face of a secular Jew, speak this name before them. So even Judaism has shoved God back to a safe distance, rejecting both Moses and God's Son. An awful irony that the people of Yahweh should share this with Islam and Jehovah's Witnesses. A horror at the thought of God coming personally into the world he has made. Yahweh, the personal name of the God of Israel, is, however, not the name of God in the New Testament. There is yet a higher step that we must reach in the knowledge of the true God. What is the subject of the Lord's Prayer? And of course this is a very big issue in dialogue with Jehovah's Witnesses. The prayer of John 17. By the way, just as a sidelight, we know that that which we call the Lord's Prayer is actually the disciples' prayer, the one found in Matthew and Luke. The one we are instructed to pray is that prayer. But what is that prayer's first petition? Our Father, hallowed be thy name. But in the greatest and final prayer of Jesus before the cross, John 17, we have this claim of the Lord: I have made your name known and will make it known. This is how the Lord Jesus sums up his mission before he leaves the upper room. Witnesses, by the way, will use this on you if you get in a dialogue with them about the use of the divine name. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, this name, of course, had to be Jehovah. There was no higher name than the personal name of God, was there? But Yahweh, Jehovah, does not occur once in the Gospel of John, nor in any of the other Gospels. Rather, Father, glorify thy name. Father, glorify thy Son, that thy Son may glorify thee. So challenge the Jehovah's Witness to search John 13 to 17, where the real Lord's Prayer is found, the most detailed record we have of that last night of Jesus' earthly life, and see which name the Son glorifies. It is the name Jehovah's Witnesses need to know, the name that horrifies Muslims, and the name which even Orthodox Jews avoid or rarely use: Father. Next time we'll talk about the Son's revelation of the Father and why is God the Father so dangerous?